The top 10 most successful horror films of all time. When it comes to horror films, you can often find me hiding behind the sofa as I am not their biggest fan. But some people love them, the scarier the better. While some of them are indeed very scary, there is one thing scarier than all of these 10 films, and that is the amount of money each of them made. 10. The Ring, 2002, gross earnings, $128.58 million. Wiki info, it sounds like just another urban legend. A videotape filled with nightmarish images leads to a phone call foretelling the viewer's death in exactly 7 days. Newspaper reporter Rachel Keller, Naomi Watts, is skeptical of the story until 4 teenagers all die mysteriously exactly 1 week after watching just such a tape. Allowing her investigative curiosity to get the better of her, Rachel tracks down the video and watches it. Now she has just 7 days to unravel the mystery. 9. The Conjuring, 2013, gross earnings, $137.39 million. Wiki info, in 1970, paranormal investigators and demonologists Lorraine, Vera Farmiga, and Ed. Patrick Wilson, Warren are summoned to the home of Carolyn, Lily Taylor, and Roger, Ron Livingston, Perrone. The Perrones and their 5 daughters have recently moved into a secluded farmhouse, where a supernatural presence has made itself known. Though the manifestations are relatively benign at first, events soon escalate in horrifying fashion, especially after the Warrens discover the house's macabre history. 8. Split, 2016, gross earnings, $138.12 million. Wiki info, though Kevin, James McAvoy, has evidenced 23 personalities to his trusted psychiatrist, Dr. Fletcher, Betty Buckley, there remains one still submerged who is set to materialize and dominate all of the others. Compelled to abduct 3 teenage girls led by the willful, observant Casey, Kevin reaches a war for survival among all of those contained within him as well as everyone around him as the walls between his compartments shatter. 7. The Blair Witch Project, 1999, gross earnings, $140.53 million. Wiki info, found video footage tells the tale of 3 film students, Heather Donahue, Joshua Leonard, Michael C. Williams, who've traveled to a small town to collect documentary footage about the Blair Witch, a legendary local murderer. Over the course of several days, the students interview townspeople and gather clues to support the tale's veracity. But the project takes a frightening turn when the students lose their way in the woods and begin hearing horrific noises. 6. Gremlins, 1984, gross earnings, $148.17 million. Wiki info, a gadget salesman is looking for a special gift for his son and finds one at a store in Chinatown. The shopkeeper is reluctant to sell him the mogwai but sells it to him with the warning to never expose him to bright light, water, or to feed him after midnight. All of this happens and the result is a gang of gremlins that decide to tear up the town on Christmas Eve. 5. What Lies Beneath, 2000, gross earnings, $155.37 million. Wiki info, it had been a year since Dr. Norman Spencer, Harrison Ford, betrayed his beautiful wife Claire, Michelle Pfeiffer. But with Claire oblivious to the truth, Norman's life and marriage seem so perfect that when Claire tells him of hearing mysterious voices and seeing a young woman's image in their home, he dismisses her terror as delusion. Claire moves closer to the truth, and it becomes clear that this apparition will not be dismissed, and has come back for Dr. Spencer and his beautiful wife. 4. Get Out, 2017, gross earnings, $175.43 million. Wiki info, now that Chris, Daniel Kaluuya, and his girlfriend, Rose, Allison Williams, have reached the Meet the Parents milestone of dating, she invites him for a weekend getaway upstate with Missy and Dean. At first, Chris reads the family's overly accommodating behavior as nervous attempts to deal with their daughter's interracial relationship, but as the weekend progresses, a series of increasingly disturbing discoveries lead him to a truth that he never could have imagined. 3. World War Z, 2013, gross earnings, $202.35 million. Wiki info, when former UN investigator Gary Lane, Brad Pitt, and his family get stuck in urban gridlock, he senses that it's no ordinary traffic jam. His suspicions are confirmed when, suddenly, the city erupts into chaos. A lethal virus, spread through a single bite, is turning healthy people into something vicious, unthinking, and feral. As the pandemic threatens to consume humanity, Gary leads a worldwide search to find the source of the infection and, with luck, a way to halt its spread. 2. The Exorcist, 1973, gross earnings, $204.57 million. Wiki info, one of the most profitable horror movies ever made, this tale of an exorcism is based loosely on actual events. When young Regan, Linda Blair, starts acting odd, levitating, speaking in tongues, her worried mother, Ellen Burstyn, seeks medical help, only to hit a dead end. A local priest, Jason Miller, however, thinks the girl may be seized by the devil. The priest makes a request to perform an exorcism, and the church sends in an expert, Max von Sydow, to help with the difficult job. 1. I Am Legend, 2007, gross earnings, $256.39 million. Wiki info, Robert Neville, Will Smith, a brilliant scientist, is a survivor of a man-made plague that transforms humans into bloodthirsty mutants. He wanders alone through New York City, calling out for other possible survivors, and works on finding a cure for the plague using his own immune blood. Neville knows he is badly outnumbered and the odds are against him, and all the while, the infected wait for him to make a mistake that will deliver Neville into their hands.